Hello friends, welcome to Turn a Stone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you found this video. For today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at the next joy coming into your life. So I'm leaving this very open for spirit. This could be some joyful news that you're receiving. This could be a joyful event that occurs for you. This could be an internal breakthrough that brings you great joy. The field is wide open for whatever this next joy is that's coming into your life. At the time that I'm recording this video, Jupiter is preparing to change its placement, so it's a good time to be thinking about joy, to be focusing on our joy, and to be inviting more joy into our lives. This is a timeless reading, however, so whenever you come across this reading is the right time for you to hear these messages. So I've prepared 3 piles for you here today. Pile 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 is here. Timestamps are in the description box below. Please choose your timestamp from the description box below. Click ahead to your reading, and I will see you in your chosen group. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at the next joy that is coming into your life. So something positive, something uplifting that's coming your way. So you chose this largest specimen of rose quartz. I love rose quartz. It's a stone that emanates a feeling of unconditional love, of peace, of healing. So some of these properties may be important to you at the time you're coming across these readings, but a lot of unconditional love coming to you from this stone here today. The card that you were drawn to in the introduction is the Hanged Man card. Let's see if I can get it in camera here. The Hanged Man card, number 12, it tells me that you have been feeling stuck perhaps or in limbo regarding a certain situation. With some of the cards that have come out on your reading, I'm getting the sense of, for some of you, you may have felt that your world was turned upside down. I heard that. For others of you, I heard the expression, the sky is falling, which is often an expression that is used when we, the worst possible thing we think has happened. Sometimes that may turn out not to be true, but perhaps it felt that way at the time that it occurred. So I think the events of life have left you in a position where you have had to reevaluate things. Things perhaps didn't turn out the way that you wanted or expected in some way. If that resonates with you, then I would say this is indeed your reading. And I have some very good news for you. This is, the next joy that is coming into your life. So let's take a look at your cards and see what we have coming your direction here. So I asked the universe, what is this next joy? And you received the 10 of Pentacles and the Empress. So really 2 of the some very beautiful cards, almost, some of the most positive cards in the tarot deck. So there is some real joy coming to you. For some of you, I see this in terms of family. And it's very interesting, this Empress card here, it looks as if she's pregnant in this card. I was seeing this card for days before your reading. It was just kind of coming to mind. So to me, this really indicates that if you are watching this reading and you're desiring to have a child, I really do see that happening for you with this card coming out, and especially with it coming out with the 10 of Pentacles card, which is often a card of happy families, supported families, family support, families being together, a lot of sort of family legacy, even kinds of impressions with the 10 of Pentacles there. So I really do see, if you are someone who is desiring to have a child, maybe this is something that has been disappointing for you in the past. I do see the possibility for some of you to welcome children into your life. For others of you, it may not be a child. For some of you, I'm hearing pet. Perhaps you're wanting to bring a pet into your life. I do see that happening too with the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. The Empress is a very nurturing energy, very motherly energy, very caring of others in her environment, whether they be people or animals or plants. She's a very caring soul and has a high degree of ability and capability to care for those under her care. So I do see you having the ability to care for a pet, to care for a child. For others of you, I'm hearing partner as well. Maybe you have been wanting to, connect with a romantic partner of some kind. I do see that happening for you as well. That may be the next big joy coming into your life here. This really is, I can't stress enough, what a beautiful combination this is, the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. These two figures, they also have this quality of wealth about them, of financial abundance and property abundance as well. So, I think not only are you perhaps growing your family in some way, but you may also experience an uptick in financial abundance as well, or perhaps it's a new property. Maybe you're going to a new home or acquiring a new home in some way. I see that as being a new joy for some of you. So really beautiful energy. I think this is going to be really a beautiful new breakthrough for you here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. And I think it's going to, you're going to get out of this stuck phase where I think things have not really been moving for you. I'm getting a little bit of a story from the rest of your cards here. I did ask Spirit for more information about, this joy that's coming into your life. And, I see here with the Death card and the Nine of Swords, you have not had the easiest time, I think, recently. There is some kind of a transformation taking place. There may have been an ending. I was really drawn to the ring on, if you can see the Nine of Swords here, there's a ring on her finger there. So maybe for some of you, a relationship may have ended. That is certainly a possibility. I do see you having a new partner here. And I think very soon with the Knight of Swords card coming in the middle of your top row there, that's a very fast moving energy. Things are moving speedily. And then you have the beautiful Wheel of Fortune, which is things moving positively forward for you. So you really can expect this beautiful new breakthrough. But with the Death card here and the Nine of Swords card here, you may not be feeling so wonderful, maybe even at the time you're coming across this reading. You may be having some fears and worries about your present situation, or perhaps fears and worries about the future. I think something has ended. There may be a degree of grief that is still kind of present within your being. You're still perhaps processing this ending, the grief that went along with that ending. And often when we're in that space, we can sort of feel like, oh, the good things, are they even ever coming? I feel, I'm feeling this grief. I'm having these worries. I'm just not even feeling very aligned with positive developments. But with the Wheel of Fortune here and this timepiece that she's holding, I'm getting the sense that, it really is soon time for your this beautiful blessing to appear in your life. So, they're saying to trust the process that you're going through, as you've sort of dealt with this ending, processed the ending. Yes, you may be feeling some of these worries, fears, doubts with the Nine of Swords. That's really all part of the process. But, the Nine of Swords is also a minor arcana card, so it is a passing energy. And I think this will soon pass for you. So they really just want you to have trust that, these beautiful new blessings are indeed on their way to you and will grace your life. And I think fairly soon here with the Knight of Swords coming out, I was also hearing an additional message about timing. With the Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, here we have this fast moving energy. And then we've got this woman sort of with the clock kind of standing still in front of it. So I think you may have been in a situation where, you felt really ready and excited for something to happen. um, you know, you really wanted it to happen at a certain time, and maybe it didn't happen on the time frame that you expected. That may have led to some disappointments. May have led to some worries, perhaps. And this Wheel of Fortune is kind of coming forward to say, it will happen in divine timing. So even though you may have had expectations about time in the past that perhaps were not fulfilled, the divine timing is soon upon you, and this beautiful blessing will bring you joy and will come into your life, because the divine time is soon here, is what I'm seeing with this kind of Knight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune energy. For some of you also, I heard creative project. So the Ten of Pentacles, the tens often represent completion. I always do get writing with this Knight of Swords card here. The words on her skirt even say, right is worth the cost. So for me, I hear, write as in writing, even though it's spelled R-I-G-H-T. But, maybe you spent a long time writing something, and I think, you're getting to the point of completion with it. And I think it's going to usher in some beautiful abundance for you. The time is soon upon you here, where the wheel will turn and you can complete that project and turn it into some beautiful blessings for you, whether that's financial blessings or maybe a move of some kind. Career move, even, I'm hearing. So lots of beautiful possibilities with a creative project. And again, maybe you were stuck creatively for a while, or maybe you experienced a lot of rejections potentially with this creative project in the past that made you kind of, feel like you were stuck and couldn't make any progress. But with the Wheel of Fortune showing up in your reading, the time is now really for progress to begin. So be patient with yourself here, and with this Death and Nine of Swords coming out. Something has ended, or it hasn't worked out the way that you wanted it to. This has not quite naturally caused worries, doubts, and fears to occur. But you can trust that you are unconditionally loved. Blessings are going to be entering your life. The beautiful abundance that you desire, whether it's abundance of love, abundance of finances, abundance of connection, those are in the cards for you, and I believe they're coming soon, with the Knight of Swords showing for you. I did also draw a couple of oracle cards for you. We have the Work Your Light Oracle, and the card that came out for you from that deck is the Dance with Life card. It says, do something to change your energy. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And I was getting, the Hanged Man, the Death, the Nine of Swords. You've got some sort of a bit of sadness, a bit of maybe some stale energy that's perhaps lingering. So if you can do some kind of movement, whether it is, quite literally dancing, or it could even be hiking, I'm hearing, yoga, anything you can do to, move your body in some way. I think that can help you with shifting some of this energy that may be feeling a bit heavy. I see some difficulties in the mental space here with the Nine of Swords. I think it can help you to kind of integrate some of those difficulties in the mental space as well. So do really consider bodily movement as your friend here, with the Dance with Life card coming out for you. I think that will be beneficial to your health and your spirit. And then you also have the goose card, and I can't help but think mother goose. So truly, some of you who are wanting a child, there's a lot of fertility indicators all over this reading, even with the goose card coming out here. It says, Goose, your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. Your dreams and desires are calling you to action. The journey begins today. And with the dance, with life cards saying do something to change your energy and journey beginning today, Spirit is encouraging you to take some kind of action towards your dreams. So whatever small kind of action you can take right now, depending on what your ultimate goal is there some, it can be, even the tiniest of action. If, for example, if you are wanting to conceive a child, maybe look at, do you need to add some vitamins to your diet? Maybe you can do that today, and just that little hopeful gesture can help move things along. Perhaps if it is regarding some kind of creative project, is there someone that you can contact for how you can get this creative project in the right hands? Or can you do a Google search, or look online to somehow see where you might be able to source your creative project? Just by doing a little bit of research, it might start getting the wheels turning, and eventually things will sort of gain momentum on their own. But, even small actions can help us to change our energy, can start to open up new possibilities. So I wouldn't be afraid of taking any action, no matter how small. I think it can really help, lift your spirits and help usher in these beautiful new blessings. Because my goodness, pile one, I mean, the 10 of Pentacles, the Empress, this is a beautiful new joy that's on its way to you. So do what you need to do now to get ready. I think it will help you to feel more hopeful. I think it will help to, maybe help the timeline along a little bit. And, soon you will see this beautiful, definitely abundance. Again, it could be financial, family member of some kind, creative abundance. All kinds of abundance are coming to you and bringing you joy. So that is the reading that I have for you, pile one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please click that like button down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd be grateful if you could take a moment to do that. It does help support my work here on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you a wonderful day full of boundless blessings, light, and love. And I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at the next joy coming into your life. And you were drawn to this piece of rough rose quartz. And the rose quartz I chose today, it's got a beautiful energy of unconditional love, of healing, of peace, very gentle, soft, loving energy, the rose quartz. And your rose quartz is very unique. I feel it has a slight heart shape to it. And it's interesting because as I drew your cards, there are messages about aligning with your heart, following your heart's calling, following your heart's desire. So we'll talk more about that as we go along with the reading, but this was the rose quartz you were drawn to. And then the card that you were drawn to in the intro is the Queen of Wands card. And we have a lot of royal energy with your cards today. So with this card, immediately I heard leveling up, upgrade, up level. You are about to grow and grow in a sense of self-worth is what I'm hearing, as well as you may be expanding a business of some kind or expanding your income in some way. That's also coming through in your reading. So beautiful energy. The Queen of Wands, she is very much in charge of things. She is very creative. She is very independent. She has a lot of energy. She kind of brings a lot of energy to her projects and to the world around her. So beautiful energy, this Queen of Wands. And you also have the Nine of Pentacles here. That came out as your first card. So with that Nine of Pentacles, I am getting a lot of self-employment vibes from your reading. So some of you may be considering self-employment for yourself, opening your own business perhaps, or working for yourself, freelancing, those kinds of things. And if that is on your mind, the cards are suggesting that that may be very profitable for you. You also have the Death card, which came out, which tells me that maybe something has ended, perhaps your previous form of employment, perhaps a course of study that you were engaged on ended. Anyway, there has been an ending of some kind of phase or situation, and so now you're moving forward from that point. But with the next joy coming into your life being this sense of really relishing where you're at, really enjoying kind of your own, the things that you create with your own wealth, your own resources, be that your intelligence or your personality or your fashion sense, you name it. This is the card of self-created wealth here, the Nine of Pentacles. So I think you may be letting go of another phase of life. Maybe it's working for a particular organization or working in a situation or studying even. You're moving on from that, but you're moving into this really beautiful era that I think you're going to love. You're going to be able to really express yourself. I'm seeing that also when we see both the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. There's a lot of self-expression going on. And I think your self-expression is going to be very warmly received here. With the Death card here too, I noticed how she's kind of pointing to her heart space, and we talked about your heart-shaped rose quartz. This is really a card that's saying to me, follow your heart. Something else has ended. I think whatever has ended was not necessarily speaking to your heart. So Spirit is inviting you to really listen to, what in the deepest depths of your soul, what does your heart really feel pulled to at this time? Because I think it has the potential to really grow your life in exciting ways and grow your self-worth as well. I asked Spirit for more information about your joy, and I was shown the Five of Pentacles here, which tells me, it gives me the suggestion of a sort of feeling small or feeling unappreciated, feeling like you're perhaps not valued by those around you. I'm seeing this as more of a past situation. So perhaps you were in a situation where you felt like maybe you were in an inferior position, or you weren't being paid enough perhaps, or you were overlooked in some way. Maybe your talents and abilities simply were not recognized in whatever capacity you were in the past. But then we see you moving to the Empress, and this, I believe is more true to your core, true to your calling. We have so much royalty here. We started off with the Queen of Wands, we've got the Empress, and then you have these two kings, the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, ending up your reading here. So I'm getting a lot of, innate nobility almost, a sense of innate, I'm getting regalness, I'm getting, kind of someone with an upright bearing who has high standards. You certainly do not belong in this Five of Pentacles position by any stretch of the imagination. From the energy coming off of these cards, you really have what it takes to navigate both with your intelligence and with your other, given assets. Maybe it's your some talent that you have, maybe it's your style sense, maybe it's a performing art talent that you have been practicing for a long time. You know, you have earned the right to be the Empress, to be the Queen of Wands. And, you know, you certainly should not be in any kind of Five of Pentacles situation, because it just would not be, you know, it would not be in the highest interest of your life overall. So a lot of regal energy, noble energy. You know, the Empress is somebody who has really learned all of her lessons, and she's learned them well, and she knows her stuff, and she knows who she is. Very self-possessed kind of energy. So I love seeing that with the Five of Pentacles here, because this Death card, talking about a transformation, I feel as if, you know, this next joy is going to transform any sense of, you know, any dents that have been made to your self-worth or your value. Are going to be repaired here with the Empress coming in. You know, the Empress is wanting to show you your true worth, your true value, and you know, you really kind of belong almost at the top of the heap here with the Empress card. And also I'm seeing that with the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles as well. The King of Swords, you know, I always do get with this card to a sense of cutting things out, and when I see it next to the Five of Pentacles, you know, do pay attention to any people or situations in your life that do not value you. And, you know, feel free to cut those situations out of your life. If you are not being honored, if you're not being recognized, if you're not being compensated adequately, it's time to let those things go, because with the King of Pentacles, this is telling me you have a lot of financial savvy, you understand the material world, you understand material resources. You might even have like a flair for what really satisfies people and what people value. So I think you can, you know, safely let go of any kind of situation where, you know, you're left feeling less than. And sometimes when we're in situations where we're left feeling less than, it may not be a reflection of us at all. It could simply be a reflection of the individuals in that circumstance, and it is, you know, kind of our responsibility to extract ourselves from those situations and align with situations that more fully value who we are and what we do. So I really see your next joy being, you know, perhaps it's a business that you open, perhaps it is a line of work that you pursue. It might be a new job opportunity. If it is a new job opportunity, I think there's a high likelihood it can be a more senior position than one of the positions that you've been in the past. But I do see, you know, the next joy coming into your life is some kind of turnaround that will help you both in terms of self-worth and in terms of autonomy as well. I see you having more autonomy in this new role. And more money is certainly indicated here. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Empress, the King of Pentacles, a lot of indicators here of actual, you know, financial wealth, very indicated with these cards, and general abundance as well. This is not simply financial abundance. There's a feeling with the certainly with the Empress here, you know, that very warm, loving, nurturing energy. We talked about the heart-shaped rose quartz. I think there's some emotional fulfillment here as well with some of the other indicators here. And the Queen of Wands is a very creative soul too. So I see you being able to satisfy your creative desires, your financial desires, and, you know, the basic desires of your soul's calling, your sense of self-worth, your worth in terms of, you know, how valued you are by your community, whether that's a small community of an organization or a broader community. But certainly an up-level, an upgrade in those respects. All right, and I drew a couple more cards to close out your reading here. I asked Spirit for advice about this next joy that's coming into your life, and we got the Inner Temple card. It says, devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. And we did talk about the heart here, following your heart's calling, how she's pointing to her heart. Also the heart-shaped stone that you chose. So I think there is a lot about, you might just want to check in and make sure that you're devoting your time and your energy, even your thoughts, to your heart's desire. Sort of do that sort of inner check-in to make sure that you're really fully aligned as you proceed, particularly as it relates to, new endeavors regarding livelihood or work of any kind. And then you also received a feather card here. We've got the magpie for you. It says, reevaluate your priorities. It is time to let go of what you no longer need. Reevaluate your priorities. It is time to let go of what you no longer need. And we talked about the King of Swords being that, that kind of bringer of cutting cords and letting things go, especially if it's a situation where you feel undervalued in any way. So you may want to look at, kind of your current situation. How is it working for you? Are there ways that you can let go of certain attachments to it so that you can step into this new kind of joyous opportunity, this new joyous calling? I think that, your heart may be urging you towards. A lot of beautiful cards here, my friends. So again, kind of the Nine of Pentacles and the Death really transforming into this, independent spirit, fully aligned, abundant kind of being as you pursue your livelihood. So that is the reading that I have for you today, my pile 2. If you liked this reading, please hit the like button down below and let me know. And if you haven't become a subscriber yet, I'd be grateful if you could hit that subscribe button. It really does help support my channel here on YouTube. So thank you for that. And with that, I will say goodbye and wish you a wonderful day full of light, love, and boundless blessings. And I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is a look at the next joy that is coming into your life. So the card that you were drawn to, or rather, let's start with the stone. This is a piece of rough rose quartz, and there were rose quartz for all of the different groups. But I chose this stone today. It's a very loving stone. It represents unconditional love. It emanates a very healing quality. It's got a very gentle energy to it. Also good for creating peace in the mind, peace in the world. Beautiful, loving, supportive energy with this stone. So sending all of that your way in this reading today. And then as I look at this stone individually, I don't know if you can really see this on camera, but it has a little notch up here, which to me, at first I heard finger pointing. So I don't know if that means anything to you, finger pointing, or maybe pointing the way. Spirit may be pointing you the way somewhere. This also looks like a bit of a hand with this kind of being a thumb that's sticking out. So maybe you're getting a hand with something. That could be a joy that's entering into your life. Lots of possibilities there, but it has a very unique shape here with this interesting little notch on the rose quartz. Let's look at your cards and talk about the joy that is coming into being for you. So you actually received 2 cards. I asked for just 1, but 2 came out. So I want to respect spirit when that happens. And the first card that came out for you is the 10 of Wands. And that explains kind of why there were 2 cards, because you also received the Knight of Cups. So when I see these 2 cards together and I think of the joy that's coming into your life, what I'm hearing is that you are being relieved of a burden. You are, I get the sense that you're going to be choosing something where you're able to follow your heart. You're letting go of something that just felt perhaps difficult, burdensome, unfair, even I'm hearing. You're letting go of an unfair situation. You're choosing yourself. You're choosing your heart. You're following your heart. Maybe with that rose quartz in the finger, kind of something pointing the way. Maybe your heart is pointing the way to your new destiny. I see that as being something joyful coming towards you. You will be relieved of something burdensome, something difficult, something a bit heavy, and you're going to be following your heart and really kind of pursuing your life's heart fulfillment, really, with this Knight of Cups card. So interesting combination of cards, these two, Ten of Wands, Knight of Cups. Let's go a little bit deeper. I have to say, your reading was the most nuanced, I think, of all of the readings today. So let's get into it because it's a little more complex, I think, than the others. That may not be a surprise to you if you chose this pile. When I asked Spirit for the joy that's coming to you, I got the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of Swords energy in your reading. We've got Seven of Swords, Nine of Swords, King of Swords, and Four of Swords here. So that tells me there's a lot of activity in the mental sphere. You may be having a lot of a lot of thoughts, maybe even some worries, concerns, a lot of activity, a lot of material to work with in the mental sphere. So that will ring a bell with you if this is your reading. But with the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords coming out, I see the Seven of Swords, you're getting out of a situation that, with the Nine of Swords, it's telling me you're in some kind of a situation. This could even be just a mental situation. It could be another kind of situation. It could be a work situation, a family situation, partner situation. It's going to be different for everybody watching. So however this applies to you, but you've been sort of engaged in something that, with the Nine of Swords, that's not the most pleasant of energy. That's worrying, being up at night, maybe feeling some fears around some things, but just feeling uneasy, even with the Nine of Swords, not feeling very restful and peaceful with the Nine of Swords. But you have seen the light here with the Seven of Swords, and you're taking what is valuable from this situation, and you are making an exit, it looks like, with the Seven of Swords. And with this exit that you're taking, I think the other joy that's coming to you is that you are finally going to be able to rest. You are finally going to have, I think, more free time to yourself. I think you're going to have the time and the space to enjoy things, to go at your own pace, to delve inward. And, if you are somebody who likes to do meditation, or if you like to journal, or those kinds of activities of self-reflection, you're going to have opportunity to do that. I'm getting some energies around maybe feeling judged or feeling watched or feeling criticized even. So whatever this situation has been that has left you, with this rather unpleasant kind of feeling of, being judged, analyzed, watched, criticized, you are getting out of it. So, that will resonate differently for each of you watching, but some of you may be making your own decision to part ways and move on. Some of you, that may occur in another way, but I do see you being freed up from a situation here. And kudos to you, because you are really you're taking some gold with you after this experience. I think it's not been the easiest of experiences, but you have learned some lessons. There's something valuable that you received as a result of being engaged in this. And you're retaining that. You're retaining, the good things that came from this situation or this involvement, and you're moving forward with your life, away from this situation, away from all of these, harmful aspects that may have been around for a while. And you're going to have, I'm seeing travel. Some of you may be traveling after you get out of the situation. You may spend time near a body of water. You may get additional sleep here with the Four of Swords. I see you healing from whatever this situation has been. It may have been one of those involvements where you actually need some time to come back to yourself afterwards. That can often occur. I'm brought back to the Ten of Wands. It might even have been a situation where a lot of demands were placed on you. But the joy that's coming to you is freedom, time, space, the ability to relax, the ability to come back to yourself. And I think you really are going to enjoy it. And I think it's going to be an important part of your evolvement as you go forward here. But whatever this was that was unpleasant is ending. And with it, I think the worries, the fears, the doubts will also begin to dissipate for you as a result of you being freed from this involvement and being able to move forward. With the Hermit and the King of Swords, again, this King of Swords for me is always a card of cutting things out. So I see you, you're taking the gold from this situation. I think you're cutting whatever cords you need to cut to be free of this entanglement. You may spend a bit of time in introspection, thinking about whatever this was. This may require some internal processing. I do see you needing more rest, but also getting the rest that you need. And I think this is really beautiful. This Two of Pentacles here tells me, this is the card of things still being kind of worked out in the universe, plans kind of coming together a little bit, but you're in the dreaming and ideas phase here with the Four of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So I think, having got out of whatever this involvement was that was unpleasant and not beneficial for you, you're going to have some beautiful time out to relax and rest and heal. You're going to be dreaming up some new possibilities and ideas that I think will really speak to your heart, as we saw here in the Knight of Cups, that will really help you propel your life forward in a really beautiful way. And I think will continue to bring you joy in the times to come. But for right now, I would say your most immediate joy is being free of whatever this difficulty is and moving into a beautiful healing phase of rest, relaxation, returning to yourself. I think it's going to be a very rich and fruitful time for you. And then I also drew some cards for you from the Work Your Light Oracle deck and the Divine Feather Messenger. We'll take the Work Your Light cards first. The first card that came out for you says, Birthing a New Age, Birthing New Creations, and Dreaming a New World into Being. And my jaw hit the floor when I saw this because we literally have the dreaming card here with the Four of Swords and this figure, reclined on the moon there. So I think, you coming away from whatever this is and having this time out and being able to dream your dreams and fuel your inner fire, I think that's going to be a very important for whatever new creation you're bringing into being here. I think you have some very enlightened and wise ideas about how life can be. And I think this next phase is going to be important for helping you to connect in with your inner spirit, connect in with your higher self, and really get in touch with what those wonderful new dreams and ideas are for your future. So I see an important phase of almost of gestation for, dreaming up these new beautiful dreams that are, may possibly be very important to humanity here with the Birthing a New Age card coming out. We also received for you the Lemuria card, and this says, creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Wow. And with these two cards together, I mean, this is very clear evidence that, you know, you are quite likely a light worker, a star seed, somebody who has come to, you know, earth at this particular point in time to help humanity to experience a new kind of future, experience a new way of living and being. So I think the fact that you are evolving away from this situation, healing, dreaming up new ideas, I mean, it's really perhaps part of a divine plan to get you in the right place in the right time so that you can start to create this heavenly reality for yourself and others as well. And then finally, the card chosen for you was the white owl. It says, the wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. White owl. And then you've got these beautiful white feathers on this Four of Swords card. So I'm seeing some symmetry there. But you really have a very special purpose, I believe, pile 3. So whatever this difficult situation is that you are leaving behind, I think it is with great purpose that you know, you are able to move on and move on in a very healing and positive way at this time. You know, you have the messages of the divine, your hearing, your internal hearing is alert to the messages of the divine. So I really think there is a plan for you to create this beautiful future. And, you know, the rest and relaxation, this joyful period of rest and relaxation and healing that is coming towards you, I think is very much part of the plan in tuning you in with the divine so that you can create this beautiful new reality. All right, my pile 3, that is the message that I have for you today. This is the next joy coming into your life. So I do hope you enjoy this. This looks very wonderful. Please comment down below if you liked this video or hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would be grateful if you could hit the subscribe button. It does help to support my channel, and I thank you very much for doing that. So I will close out your reading now. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you a wonderful day full of light, love, and boundless blessings, and I will see you in the next reading. Goodbye.